What is the rock star way to go into the industry?
Well, in my experience, success breeds success, meaning, don't wait to be hired. Go ahead, apply for jobs. Maybe there'll be one out there that you'll love and you should take it and be happy, and that'll be great. But but you don't have to go that route anymore, right? You've got a bunch right now. You've got a whole set of people that don't know anything about coding, that are vibe coding and building apps and solving needs for people. What about the people who have the formal education and the passion for computer science? They're going to be way better vibe coders than, the non-technical folks. What's stopping them, especially when they're young and, they're used to eating mac and cheese, because they were in college? Keep living like that. Keep your costs low, live in your parents' basement, right? Get the best computer you can and build things and make a name for yourself that way and be known that way. And then you'll either be successful, or you'll build up this portfolio of all this knowledge and you'll build up a name for yourself that way. And now you're at the other end of the stick, which is, instead of you knocking on people's door and saying, please hire me, you'll have people coming to you and saying, please come to work for us.
That's a great piece of advice, to be honest. Is it something you would do if you was just starting out right now?
Well, I took it. So I'm a Gen Xer. So I was the kind of last generation where, if I did what the boomers did, right? I went to college, I got a degree, I got a bachelor's degree in computer science, and I got a master's degree in computer science. Then I went to work for Intel, and then I went to work, for a little startup and blah, 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 right? And I could just, I could just watch my income grow year by year because of the demand for software engineers, and had a great time doing it. I just followed that recipe and it worked. My kids don't have that luxury. That economic model doesn't work anymore, right? For a lot of people. For some folks it does, right? But for a lot of people it doesn't. And even now, I'm always learning, always educating myself. But I'm not taking classes at the local college. That's too slow, right? I'm on the internet. I'm doing research. I'm building things. I'm trying things.
Exactly.
That's what I think people should do, right? Continually educate themselves, find their passion, build the thing that means something to them.
You can kind of create your own learning curve, your own learning roadmap, in a way that fits you and fits your personal goals, let's say. So if you want to build something, if you want to do it, you can kind of really create your own roadmap to do it right now. And it's a really interesting time to be in right now. Really interesting in that sense. You can essentially teach yourself anything.
That's right. And you can do it with increasingly amazing chatbots, right? I spend a bunch of time, whenever I have a core question about something, I spend a bunch of time in Claude Chat. I spend a bunch of time in Chat GPT. And I'm like, I have a question about blah. And they essentially, right, they have the entire internet, on RAG, right? And they can download things from the internet on demand, and they have deep research mode. I mean, it's hard to imagine a question that I couldn't get answered that way, right? In the old days, when I was a kid, I grew up in a library. My mom was a librarian, and I knew the card catalog, and I would, go and look up something on a shelf and pick up a book or two and read it that way. Then the internet hit, and I could do a Google search, and the pages and the websites for my books, and I would consume things that way. Now I can just have a question, and I'm like, I wonder what the answer to this is, and I can go.
Exactly. And I have a little brother, so I kind of look for ways to teach him how to use AI properly, right? And my take on this is that if you are in, let's say, 8th grade, or I don't know, high school, and if you don't understand any subject and you feel like you're failing in this class, but let's say you really want to do something in life, but it requires knowledge of this subject, and you feel like, I'm stupid on this, I'm not educated enough, you really can't just change everything by digging deep for 1 month. You can do everything. You can even ask any LLM, any ChatGPT, Grok, whatever you use. You can ask, basically explain it to me like I'm 5 years old,
That's
and
right.
it will find a way to explain it to any single topic.
Yeah, it's not,
So
and
it's
you
beautiful
can
in that
go
sense.
deep too, right? You can say, I would like a broad knowledge of topic X. Could you please give me an outline and some
Yes,
resources and help me through that? And now, I mean, as a software engineer, especially, I've done this where I'm like, great, now let's talk about that first thing on the list and how does that work? And now I'll go and write some code and feel it under my fingers and really get to understand it. And yeah, there's nothing you can't learn like that.
yes, absolutely. And beautiful time in that sense. You can do anything pretty much, really.
That's
It's a
right.
great it's a great equalizer of everyone. Like the opportunity is equal. You don't have any excuses right now.
And that
You
is
can
the
learn anything.
that is the core, that is the base of democracy, right? That you're not held back, right? If you
Absolutely.
now, you do need some basics, and we do have a growing amount of our society that don't have these basics, right? But you need shelter, you need power, you need high-speed internet, you need food, right? Medical attention, mental health attention, and you need a top flight computer. But if you have those things, which you know I would put internet and the top end computer and the lowest rung of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs from just a pure survival point of view. But if you have those things, everything else can come from there.
Yes, absolutely. And the last question will be, since I see that we're kind of running out of time, the last question would be, what advice would you give to the young people who seek software development as their career choice?
I have been giving those folks the same advice for the last 10 years, which is data science, AI, go all in.
Just all in. That's
On,
it.
on AI,
There's,
data
you
science.
you have to grind it out, right?
I don't know what that means. What I mean is, you will have better success, and I've seen this coming for 10 years in an AI discipline than you will in a software engineering discipline. In what 10 years ago was the future, now is the
Yeah.
present, and ongoing into the future.
Yeah. Just to be clear, grind it out means basically just stubbornly work on something for a long period of time.
Well, Paul, you gotta be passionate. You gotta find some
Yes, yes,
form of
absolutely.
something. The thing that drives my passion is there are things that I want to exist in the world, and because I want to use them, and I have full autonomy to create them if they don't exist, and that's what I do, and that's what I spend my time on, and that's what makes me happy. And those all things ultimately make developers' lives better, which has really been my life's goal, right?
Yeah.
What do I do on this planet? And that's a goal I adopted decades ago, right? So if you can have a goal and a passion, a purpose, something that brings meaning to your life, and a tribe to do that with, right? The
Yeah.
rest is just calories and protection from the weather.
It's all, yes, I agree. It also comes up to the problem of AI influencing on people, and basically dividing people into two categories, where one are hyper producers and the others are hyper consumers, and you have to stay on the bright side. Let's put it like this. So you have to be able to implement it in your life, as far as I understand it, and in my life it is like this. You have to implement it. You have to work around it, somehow find a way that suits you and your purpose, your goals, your alignment, internal alignment, right, and such stuff. So yes, absolutely, we would just have to stay productive and create new things.
I mean, that's the thing that uh, you have to really guard against. There's so much these days that can distract when it comes to consumption. And what I encourage everyone to do is really find the thing in their lives that makes them creative, that lets them put things out into the world, right? Yes, I use AI coding to help me, right? Make me go faster, make me get better, deeper solutions. But I make sure that it lives up to my own personal quality, and I put my name on it. And if it doesn't, I don't ship it, right? It's not ready.